All right, welcome everyone to another live stream, and people are already tuning in. That was actually extremely fast. What's up, Fiona? What's up, Motion? Thank you for tuning in. Tonight is another late night live stream, guys. I'm very excited to be doing this. Hopefully, we can throw more live streams in throughout the week because this is a lot of fun, and I want to make sure that I make more time for this. So, what's up? We have Motion, Inc., Joshua, RVP, Chess Noob. I want to go ahead and wait a couple seconds for the YouTube notification to go out, but yeah, lots in store for this live stream. I actually hate Physics C, bro. Wait, Physics C. What's like the hardest part about it for you? What's up, Legend, Daniela, Musa? All right, there we go. I think the YouTube notification has finally gone out. What's up, guys? We have Weekly, Jonathan, Lego, Alien, Mad, Akil, Isaiah, User, Shahid, Roblox. What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in. GoldenEye, great to see you again. I'm off sync. That is so unfortunate. Let me go ahead and fix that real quick. Thank you for letting me know. So let me just go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and fix this. Okay, so hopefully we should be back on sync now, guys. Go ahead and let me know if everything sounds okay. And let me turn my volume down a little bit. I think the audio might be a bit too loud. Okay, there we go. Just fix that. Okay, beautiful. People are tuning in. What is up? How is everyone doing tonight? What time is it for everyone? On my end, it is currently 10:50 p.m. It's a Sunday night, so I'm assuming that all of you guys have school tomorrow, and hopefully you guys aren't up too late right now. But let's see, what are people saying? It's 9:50 p.m., 8:51. Okay, so it seems like we have some people tuning in from the West Coast. What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in. 7:51, 9:51, 7:51. Okay, so I'm glad to see that not too many people from the East Coast are tuning in because y'all should be asleep for school tomorrow. So I'm glad to see that. Okay, is 2 APs as a freshman good? Yeah, 2 APs as a freshman is very impressive. My school did not allow students to take AP classes their freshman year, so you are definitely already ahead. 10:51, 7:51. Okay. What's up, Gene? Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you being here. 5:51 a.m. That is extremely... Are you like waking up for school right now? Ronaldo or Messi? I don't really follow soccer, but I've always just been saying Ronaldo because a lot of my close friends from college and my hometown are Ronaldo fans. So I don't even have school tomorrow. You don't? Wait, why is that? Is tomorrow some sort of holiday? Am I missing something? Hi, Gohar. What's up, Slick? Thank you for tuning in. Okay, so guys, this is going to be a Q&A live stream, and maybe we'll play some other games as well. I see people are already spamming Kahoot in the stream chat, so maybe we'll do Kahoot. Why not? But yeah, if you guys have any questions, once again, about anything, go ahead and drop them in the stream chat. Y'all know the drill by now. And let me ask one more question. Have y'all been to a previous live stream? Go ahead and say yes or no. Say yes if you have been to a previous live stream of mine. Say no if you have not. My homework is waiting for me right now. Well, hopefully as soon as this live stream ends, you should get to your homework as soon as possible. People are saying no, no first one, no first one. Okay, so it's the first live stream for a lot of you guys. All right, well, welcome to the Gohar's Guide live streams. These streams are mainly for Q&As, but I also often play games. I have a Lego set right here that I can try to construct in front of you guys. But in the future, I do want to make these live streams more interesting. I want to do like a cooking live stream at some point or just other events. You know, I think that could be really cool. I'm on fall break. Oh, that's awesome, Safik. That's really cool. First live stream, Joshua. Love to hear it. Thank you for tuning in. Gohar, I'm doing homework right now. Slick, what kind of homework are you working on? I have the SAT in 1 week. Any advice? At this point, well, first of all, if you're not already using Khan Academy, be sure to use that just to assess your strengths and weaknesses. But I think at this point, just maximizing on practice exams truly. Just take, I would say if you have 1 week left, try to take at least 2 more practice exams, but don't take any the night before the exam because that's just going to stress you out and tire you out, and it's not a good formula for success. And we got a super chat. Thank you, Tourniquet. Really do appreciate it. I just did my SATs. What's a good score in your book? It really depends on what school you're aiming for, truthfully. I mean, a good score can be an 1100, it could be a 1200 depending on the college, or it could be a 1500, right? For me personally, I was aiming for I guess 1540 to 1560. That was sort of like my target range, because that tends to be the average for most top schools. Okay, I think my stream, let's see. More questions are coming through. Got tips for taking notes? Yeah, of course. Okay, so for note taking, I have one tip. Or I have many tips, but I have one tip that I'm gonna give right here. don't copy down everything word for word. I think students who are too obsessed with notes or taking notes on everything are more focused on just copying everything down instead of understanding what the teacher is actually saying. I sometimes think you're better off taking fewer notes and just spending more time to process your teacher's words and then writing them down in your own words instead of just transcribing everything. My exam is next week. Well, best of luck. Hopefully your exams go well. I'm just Cole. What is your career? What do you do after college? So I studied computer science in college, and since graduating college, I do two things. First of all, I'm a content creator full time, and then I also co-founded a college admissions business called Next Admit with my younger brother. And so on that end, on that company side, I'm like the CEO, also slash like CTO. I developed the entire tech stack there, and that's where my computer science degree really comes in handy. Gohar. Someone said, Gar, what's your opinion on the Talk to a podcast? I've only seen the memes. I actually have not listened to the podcast myself, but I've just been, all the memes on Twitter are pretty hilarious. In a recent live stream, I said I major in commercial aviation. I think you should make a short on YouTube about unique majors like this. That could be fun. I did make a YouTube short about the highest paying majors. I feel like a short about the most unique majors could also be, that could be interesting. I like that idea. Thank you. Are you a cuber? I know how to solve a Rubik's Cube. I know how to solve a 3x3, but I wouldn't really classify myself as a cuber. I don't really know how to do any crazy solves. Fo, thank you for the super chat. Really do appreciate it. Have you heard about the JEE? Of course, 100%. So I actually made a video titled The Hardest Exams in the World, or something along those lines. And in that exam, I cover the JEE, both the main and the advanced. Do you have any tips for memorizing notes? Yes, a technique called blurting. This is actually my most popular video, I believe, on this channel. It's also my most popular video on TikTok and on Reels, I believe. So blurting is essentially when you look at your notes, you hide them away, and then you write down everything that you can remember. And once you do that, then you bring your notes back out, see where you have the gaps, and then fill in those gaps. And you pretty much repeat this process over and over again until you have solidified, all of the notes inside your head. I got 1130 on a practice SAT as a freshman. Is that good? As a freshman, yeah, that is, around 1,000 is the average score, and that's for juniors. So if you're getting 1130 as a freshman, you are already scoring above average while in 9th grade. So kudos to you. Gohar, what advice would you give on sophomore year? So by sophomore year, I really think that you should be focusing a lot on your extracurriculars, because by the time you're a junior, it's very hard to start new extracurriculars and kind of achieve or go far in them with any sort of meaningful depth. But if you start an extracurricular your sophomore year, or better yet, your freshman year, you have a lot of time to develop that out over your course in high school. So by the end of 9th grade, I recommend figuring out what sort of theme you want your college application to have. And by the time you enter 10th grade, you should really be focusing on extracurriculars that center around this core theme or core narrative that you want to paint in your application. And we got a super chat from both. Thank you so much. Information systems ? Do you just want me to give my opinion on information systems? So my college, MIT, did not offer that exact major, so I don't feel super qualified to speak on that exact field of study. But if you DM me on Instagram, my handle is Gohar's Guide. I'll go ahead and try to gather some information and shoot you my thoughts. Gohar, when is the Notion template coming? Soon. Oh, someone else just said Notion template dates. Or was that the same person? No, two different people. Oh my God, okay. Okay, yeah, it's coming soon. Where's my boy Mahad, the better con? Mahad is currently outside. He is working on Next Admit right now. Mahad has been grinding away at Next Admit. It's our college admissions business. We are sort of entering peak college essay season. So if you guys want us to review your college essays, or want our team to review your college essays, check us out at nextadmit.com. Shameless promo real quick. What's up, Zin? Thank you for tuning in. Notion. Physics/math tips. Practice questions all the way. I'm just going to be answering these super quickly just because we're getting so many questions right now. Any advice in studying for the USABO? I did USACO when I was in high school. I don't have tips for the biology Olympiad, unfortunately, but I'm sure there's a plethora of resources online. I should take French as one of my classes in high school. You should definitely take a foreign language, 100%. So many colleges want to see students who have taken foreign language throughout their time in high school. So yeah, whether it's French, Spanish, Latin, whatever it is, be sure to take one. My school has no extracurriculars. That, first of all, I'm sorry to hear that, but second of all, no need to worry, you are totally fine because you can start extracurriculars outside of high school. In fact, most of my extracurriculars, my most meaningful pursuits, were outside of high school, and that's what I think essentially got me into MIT and a bunch of top schools. So yeah, if you have the initiative, you can definitely find ways to still build up your resume. Okay, what else do we have? What can I do in 8th grade to prepare for high school? To prepare for high school, just figure out study techniques, figure out ways of studying that are most effective for you so that once you enter high school, you can just hit the ground running. Let's see. Advice for good college essay ideas, please. Okay, so I'll give you one tip. Don't try to think too much about what the admissions officers want to hear. I'm sorry if you have heard this tip from me before, but truthfully, it's one of the prime tips that I have because too many students try to impress colleges in their essays. And yes, it's kind of counterintuitive because yes, the goal of your college essay is to theoretically impress an admissions officer, right? You want them to be like, oh wow, this seems like an interesting student. Let's go ahead and accept them. But if you go into your college essay with that mindset, it'll just seem like you're trying way too hard, and then your college essay might sound a bit too pompous. So instead, be a bit more conversational, be a bit vulnerable, be okay with opening up about your weaknesses, be okay with using contractions, humor, a casual tone, and then your college essay will definitely stand out a lot more. Okay, what other questions? Where are you from? I'm based in the US. Okay, what other questions do we have? Tips for learning coding outside of school. I'm in a rut and can't build anything real yet. Yeah, definitely. So I learned coding outside of school. My high school did not offer any coding courses. The way that I learned coding is by thinking of project ideas first and then working backwards to the languages and frameworks that I needed to learn. If you try to jump right into the framework without any sort of project guiding you, it's just going to seem pointless and it's not going to be fun to learn that language. Emil, thank you for the super chat. Are passion projects still valuable if it doesn't relate to one's major? Example, making video essays on video gaming, video game writing as a bio major. They are still 100% valuable. So I, for example, was making YouTube videos, gaming YouTube videos about Minecraft back in high school, and my Stanford admissions officer, to her, my YouTube channel is one of the most impressive extracurriculars. So 100%, if you have a passion, still follow it through, even if it does not relate to your major. Best note-taking method. Best note-taking method. I use the outline method personally, but I think in terms of actual effectiveness, I would say Cornell notes, even though it tends to be the most tedious, time-consuming, and most annoying, truthfully. Let's see. Can a sport like soccer get me into MIT? How about Harvard? Does a JV athlete have that much of a significance to college admissions? If you obtain a leadership role in your sport, then it will help your application. If you remain in JV, but if you stick through it for all 4 years, I mean, it'll look good, but it won't really lift your application that much for top schools. Truthfully, the only way that athletics is going to really help your application when it comes to elite colleges is if you are a recruited athlete. So if, for example, Harvard recruits you to play on their football team or any one of their other D1 teams. Okay, what? What is, okay, this one message, go hard, a guy named Omar in a math class literally bit my math blueprint because I accidentally knocked him over while trying to pass his desk to go to the bathroom. Can that get you suspended? What? I don't think so. I mean, that's totally up to your teachers and administration to decide, but that is quite the question. It's pretty funny how you mentioned his name as well. Like how that's just totally irrelevant, but thank you for the question. Okay, not even trying. Thank you for the super chat. I want to take an accredited AP course online because my school doesn't offer them and I need it for course rigor. Where can I take it online? So I did something similar in high school. I took AP Economics online through something called Virtual High School, I believe. It's a silly name, but I think that was the actual name of the organization. I'm not sure what other schools or accredited institutions there are, but I'm sure there are plenty. DECA or no DECA. I joined DECA for maybe a solid week my freshman year, and then I dropped it for no particular reason. I just didn't have the time. But DECA's great. I mean, again, if you can obtain a leadership role, if you can actually, do well in competitions, is starting a YouTube channel a good side hustle? I would say start a YouTube channel if you genuinely love creating, being creative, and have something that you want to share with the world. Don't go into YouTube with the sole purpose of trying to make money, because you're not going to enjoy it that way and you're going to burn out really quickly. Any good podcast that you recommend? So one podcast that I recommended in one of my videos was How I Built This by Guy Raz. And what's really funny, okay, this is a crazy story actually. So in one of my most recent videos, I recommended this podcast, and it essentially goes over how different founders built really successful companies. The daughter of the host of this podcast is one of my viewers, and she was watching that video and shared it with her father, who is the podcast host, who then DM'd me on Instagram thanking me for the shout out. It was a super sick circle moment. So yeah, that's one podcast that I recommend. Tropic Dominoes, thank you for the super chat. Are game devs still going to be a good job even with AI? I've been wanting to be one, but I'm not sure about it now since AI is getting so good. I think developers in general AI is not at a point where it's replacing developers entirely. I think AI is more or less a tool that developers use to enhance their workflows. It's an assistant effectively, and I don't think we're going to reach that point anytime soon. Also, I think with game dev in particular, it leans much more towards the creative side of things, where I think you're more protected from AI to a degree. But when I was younger, I wanted to be a game dev, so I recommend still giving it a try. Is FBLA a good club? Yes. Let's see, how to make a real impactful nonprofit. So impact with a nonprofit is really going to come down to numbers. So dollars raised, people, the number of people in your organization, meals, items donated. Those are the main quantifying and legitifying metrics for a nonprofit. I have school tomorrow. Why am I here? It seems like you're taking a break. Well, thank you for stopping by. Let's see. Okay. Book recommendations. That is a very broad question. I mean, there are... What kind of books we talking? Like self-help, history, business, fiction, mystery. I mean, fiction, mystery, some of them overlap, but... Advice for how to make your college essay more concise. Sometimes you're able to remove your intro. This is one tip that I give students. When they write their college essays, the intro tends to be pretty fluffy, and it's not until the first body paragraph where their story actually starts. Try removing your intro paragraph and seeing if your college essay still makes sense. How do you make money as a 14-year-old? So when I was 14 years old, I actually made money online, but I'm older than a lot of you guys, so the way that I made money probably is not relevant anymore, but it was by developing websites and running blogs and having banner ads on those websites. But nowadays, people don't read blogs that much or as much, so it might not be the most viable way to make money, but it's how I did. But as a 14-year-old, I don't think you can get a part-time job yet, so it's really going to be dependent on neighborhood jobs, right? Whether it's like not landscaping, but maybe babysitting, maybe tutoring, things along that nature. What do you think of online courses? Are we talking free academic courses like Khan Academy? Are we talking about like the finance courses? Like what kind of courses are we talking about? You can get a job at 14. Yeah, I think there are some but it's very restricted in what kinds of roles and the hours that you can work. Con Squared episode next. Okay, maybe next week. I don't know. Have you guys here listened or do you guys know of Con Squared? The first podcast episode did relatively well for no real advertising. Do you guys want the second episode to come out soon? I can sort of speed it up a little bit. People are saying yes, yes, yes. Cool. Okay. Yeah. I mean, if y'all are down, Maha, then I can like force Maha. I can be like, yo, Maha, it's time to get this next podcast episode out. We've been kind of procrastinating it a little bit, but if y'all are ready, we can get it going. Applying for a major that doesn't correspond to your extracurriculars or courses. Shruti, that's a good question. I mean, I'm sure that some of your extracurriculars correspond to your major, right? I mean, as long as some of them do, I mean, you should be fine. Not everything that you do has to, align with your intended major. Oh, and we just got a member on the channel. Thank you so much. Tyranno Gaming Rex, welcome to the membership. Really do appreciate it. Is becoming president senior year too late? Do you mean running for president your senior year? I mean, I feel like senior year is when most people do become president of whatever club they're part of. So definitely not. I mean, of course, you can also become president junior year, and then you can put that on your college application. But senior year, I would still go for it, because even if you get waitlisted or deferred from a college, for example, but then you become president, you can send the college an update notice. And so that way it still counts for something, When is the Notion template coming out? Soon. Okay. How to stop Reels addiction. I mean, if you don't already have screen time, that's one thing. But I've gone over this in my How to Cure Brain Rot video. Like, the first chunk of that video talks about how to kind of recalibrate your algorithm so you're served less brain rot and, less addicted to your phone. Give that a watch if you haven't already. And I think we got a super chat. Thank you so much. Let me scroll up over here. Madhav. Okay, so I didn't do too well in my first 2 math tests of the year in 8th grade. How to fix my grade by the end of the semester. So first 2 math tests, I mean, truthfully, you still probably have a bunch to go. You still have most of the school year to go. So the way that you fix it is just by figuring out where you might have fallen short on these first 2 exams. And one tip there is to be extremely honest with yourself. It's very easy to give yourself excuses for your mistakes or to not truly internalize where you might have gone wrong. So do a deep analysis, figure out how you can not make those mistakes in the future, and truthfully, you should be in a much better position. Also, if you aren't doing plenty of practice problems already to prepare for your math exams, be sure to start doing that. I like your lamp. Thank you. Got this from IKEA. Is a scholarship something to put in extracurriculars? A scholarship won't go on your extracurriculars. It'll go on your honor section of your application. Animal Lover, thank you for the super sticker. Hey man, I enjoy watching your advice. Thank you. Means a lot. Wow, my voice just... that was like a terrible voice crack. How do I choose the right major? So that's a great question. So choosing a major, I think in high school you want a rough idea of where you lie in terms of, for example, STEM or the humanities, but you don't really have to decide on your major definitively until college. For example, at MIT, we didn't have to decide until the end of, I can't believe I'm already blanking on this, but I believe the end of freshman year, if not sophomore year. I know for some schools you don't have to declare until the end of sophomore year. So you still have plenty of time, even if you don't figure it out in high school. Okay. Please give me a date for the Notion template, please, bro. I need a good template. I can't find one. I'm scared to give a date. I mean, I'm really aiming for this week. I mean, I'll tell you what I'm aiming for, but I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, this is like the definitive date, What is your brother's name? So I have 2 younger brothers. They're named Mahad and Shayan. What do you think of paid courses? Are they valid, for example, a Montgomery Educate course? Ooh, okay. I won't speak to that course in particular. I'll just say many courses online, especially from people that are saying that they'll make you rich. Any course that claims that it'll make you rich is probably not worth your money. I'll just say that much. Enzo, I actually survived. Wait, was this your... Wait, Enzo, were you here yesterday talking about an exam, or was that someone else? But whatever you did survive, congrats. I am glad to hear. Best advice for college. Okay. College is the time when you can become someone new. So the one beautiful thing about college is that nobody knows who you are and nobody has any preconceived notions about your personality or character. So if, for example, in high school you were relatively shy or somewhat closed off and in college you want to make a transformation, it is the perfect time to do so because no one's going to judge you for trying to be more outgoing because they don't know what you were like beforehand. So I'm speaking from experience here. I became a lot more outgoing my freshman year of college, and I think that was a great thing that I truthfully forced myself to do and then eventually became. How is your room like? Relatively messy right now. Like this is the one neat corner for all the video making stuff, but everything else not super great at the moment. Okay, what other questions do we have? How do you apply to MIT? MIT has its own application. That's one special thing to know. MIT does not, you don't apply to MIT through the common application like you do for a bunch of other colleges. You have to go to MIT's website and apply through their specific portal. Can you give some tips for JEE? I'm not familiar with the JEE, unfortunately, so I don't have any specific tips. Do middle school achievements count for college apps? No. But if, for example, let's say you got something crazy in middle school, like you won like the national spelling bee or something, then yeah, put that down on your application. But the vast majority of accomplishments from middle school, like 99% of them, they should not be going on your college application. Mateo, thank you for the super chat. What is your take on applying ED versus REA versus RD? How much does it affect your chances? Okay, so REA versus RD, applying restrictive early action or early action will not give you a huge boost in the admissions process. I honestly recommend that if you have a dream school, apply regular decision and apply to maybe like your second dream school, REA. So that first application is sort of like a test round. And so if there's anything that you want to improve, you can then improve it by the time you apply to your dream school, regular decision. In terms of ED, my personal take, even though no admissions officer will explicitly say this outright, is that ED, which is early decision, will give you a slight admissions boost. Because if you just logically think about it, right, you are essentially saying that, if I get admitted, I will go. And so that guarantees, an admissions officer that, that the yield will be a certain percent. And so they'll be more inclined to accept you that way. But again, when it comes to ED, please only early decision to a school that you genuinely want to go to. Don't just ED to any random Ivy League school just because you want the Ivy League title. Make sure you actually are in love with the school and what it has to offer. But great question. What was your life like for high school? Or what was life like for high school? You know what? I think a lot of y'all here are currently in high school, right? Here, what school are you guys in? Are you guys in elementary, middle school, high school, or college? Go ahead and let me know in the stream chat. But I'll briefly tell you, in high school, if I had to summarize my high school experience in one sentence, lots of studying. College is when I actually developed all the other components of my personality, to be honest. Let me just quickly see this. Middle school, high. We have some people trolling and saying preschool, high school, middle, college, middle, junior, college, high. Lots of variety. I might do a poll in just a second here, but my high school experience was very much focused on academics and my extracurriculars. And as I said earlier, a lot of my extracurriculars were outside of school, so there wasn't much in-school interaction for me, to be totally honest with you, but it was worth it. Even though I dedicated all 4 years of my high school to my studies, looking back, I wouldn't have changed a thing, truthfully. And anybody who's telling you that high school are the best 4 years of your life, high school is fun, but they are not the best 4 years of your life. College is better, and then even after college, things just, for most people, get even better. So if you have to grind in high school, it's worth it, to be honest. Okay, here, let me go ahead and do a poll. Maybe we'll do it at the end of the live stream, actually. We got a super chat. Thank you so much. Yo, go hard. My friend Abdi asked me how to become more organized with his assignments in college. I don't know much about it, so I ask you since you're like a wizard of college tips. Love your videos, by the way. Thank you. Really do appreciate it, Abex. So, how to become more organized. So, if you want to become more organized, there are two aspects that you need to consider. There's like a physical organization system that you need to sort out, and then there's the digital side of things. So on the physical organization system, first of all, it's as simple as getting rid of all the garbage on your desk, getting a desk organizer, getting folders to color code, your assignments and handouts for your different courses. I personally used a binder with binder dividers when I was in high school to organize all of my notes for all of my classes. If you're in college, you can probably use an iPad if you prefer that to organize everything. But then I also recommend on the digital side now is to use some sort of app, whether it's Google Calendar, Notion, Todoist, to organize everything that you have going on. Like there was some student that, one student in particular that I met my freshman year of college, who said he just kept everything in his mind. And granted, he was like a super whiz at MIT, so it made sense. I was like, okay, maybe you're the one exception. You could actually do this. But for the vast majority of students, I do not recommend just remembering your responsibilities. Use some sort of application to keep track. And this is where I'll do a shameless plug on my Notion template, which is coming out soon. And this is an all-in-one template for students meant to help you organize everything related to academics, college applications, extracurriculars, and also your life. For example, your finances, your health, all that good stuff. I'm very excited to launch it pretty soon. And we have another super chat. Thank you, hello. I'm currently in freshman year of community college. What are some of your tips towards fighting off the negative connotations surrounding how most people view it? I feel as though it discourages me strongly. Wow, okay, that is a fantastic question. Actually, wow. Yes, first of all, I'm so sorry that you feel this way. I understand there is this sort of stigma surrounding community college. And to be honest, in my opinion, I think the students who do community college and then end up transferring to a better school or a top school or an Ivy League are some of the most impressive students that I come across. And even the students who are currently in community college and that's the scope of their education, that to me is amazing because you are still going out of your way to pursue something, pursue a field that you love in whatever way that you can. So in my opinion, I would say, while people will be judgmental, understand that what you're doing is, first of all, best for you, and that these other people, their opinion does not matter at all. I mean, if you have a vision cast out for your life, if you have a passion that you are following, like you are doing what is best for you, and you should have that kind of be your guiding North Star, despite what other people say. And just to give you a little pep talk, I'll say this to you. I am proud of you, honestly. Like I think you are doing amazing work, and I hope that the rest of your time in community college goes well. Next Con Squared episode. So I said this earlier, hopefully next week. I mean, it seems like y'all want more Con Squared, so I guess in terms of the podcast next week, but I feel like maybe even in the meantime, we can post some like shorts or reels just to keep y'all entertained. But hello, I hope that was helpful, truthfully. And if you have any other questions about community college or any other comments that you want to just chat through, feel free to DM me on Instagram. My handle is GoHarsGuide, and I'll be on the lookout. What AP classes do you suggest? Okay, assuming that everyone here is very academically driven, I would say try to take as many as you can, truthfully. But if you want my opinion on different AP classes, like AP Bio versus AP Chem, feel free to drop them in the stream chat. And if I've taken those courses, I can give you my honest opinion. How can I get into Stanford? Okay, I'm going to give you some advice for Stanford that is not generally popular because it's largely based on my sort of opinion and my observations of students who get in. But in my opinion, Stanford does not look I mean, Stanford obviously, like they still pay a lot of attention to academic performance, but in my opinion, they're one of the top schools that are a bit more lenient when it comes to your SAT score and maybe even your GPA. I think what Stanford pays more attention to is our attributes like creativity, entrepreneurship, passion, leadership. For example, in my Stanford application, I heavily leaned into my quirkiness, my YouTube channel, my blog, all my creative entrepreneurial endeavors, which I think helped me get in. And I think that's the sort of essence that helps most people get in. So if you can lean into that in any way, I think it should be only to your benefit. Duck, thank you for the super chat. You can't get membership on mobile, but consider this my renewal. Oh, Duck, well, thank you for renewing your membership. Really do appreciate it. We have to get things rolling for the channel membership, guys. So we have a few members on this channel, and if you join the channel membership, if we get, let's say, 5 channel members to join by the end of this live stream, I will do a members only live stream. What day is it today? Sunday. I'll do a members only live stream Tuesday night. And this is just going to be us. It'll be more low key where I can talk more in depth with the members of this channel. And I guess if you want to join the channel membership, Duck, thank you for pointing it out. You have to do it from your PC. Does MIT have a med school? No. What is your career? Okay, so I'll touch upon this again very briefly. So content creation, along with being the co-founder of Next Admit, which is the college admissions business that my brother and I run together. So content creation, full-time, and then also on the business side, I'm like the CEO and then also / CTO. Kahoot when? Maybe we can wrap off with the Kahoot. We'll do it in a little bit. Have you been on Shark Tank? No, but that would be, I have thought of so it's funny that you mentioned this because Shark Tank growing up was one of my favorite TV shows. If you guys can't tell already, I'm very much into entrepreneurship and business, but I've always thought about what it would be like to be on Shark Tank, and I feel like it would just be so scary. Like on TV, they only show 5 to 10 minutes of the pitches and interactions, but apparently some of those Shark Tank pitches last up to 1 to 2 hours, and I can't even imagine how intense it can get. Why are you streaming so late? Because I have been working all day, so this was the only pocket of time that I found, unfortunately. Can we get a sneak peek of the Notion template? So I'm sending out an email, like an FAQ email to people on the waitlist, and that waitlist will have an image that showcases bits of the Notion template. Can international students go to MIT or other Ivy Leagues without Olympiads? Yeah, 100%. But I mean, if you're an international student, you do generally need something extremely impressive on your application, in place of an Olympiad to compete against the international applicant pool. How good does TSA Club look for MIT? It's STEM. I'm not too familiar with that club, but if it's a STEM organization, and I believe it's actually established, from my understanding, it's like a national thing, right? Let me just search it up. TSA, Technology Student Association. Okay. Oh, it's a national organization of over 300,000 middle school and high school students. Yeah, no, this definitely is super impressive if you're applying to a school like MIT. Let's see. What other questions? How can I develop my skills? That's a very broad question. What skills are we talking about? Which subject is the best to teach as a teacher? I'm not a teacher, so I have a specific answer to that question. How do I regain motivation when I feel defeated by some of my bad grades? I mean, I've been there. Oh man, at MIT, so I think in high school, I had like a few lower grades, but it's not until MIT when you just get a serious wake-up call when it's like, oh my God, like the people around me are true geniuses, and it puts you in your place. So in those moments, what you have to realize, whether you're in like that context or even just in general, is that a single grade is not going to determine the path of your life. I think our emotional reaction to low grades obviously tends to be very intense because we're all very academically driven. But in the long run, if we're talking for the rest of the year, if we're talking in the scope of the rest of high school, or in the scope of the rest of your life, like truthfully, you are going to be okay. And even a couple low grades will not drastically alter the direction or the path of your life. So, find solace in the fact that you are still going to be okay, that you'll still be able to achieve your goals as normal. It's just a matter of, figuring out where things might have gone wrong that first time around and how you can learn from those mistakes. Let's see. Lots of questions coming through here. Is the SAT as hard as it seems? That's a good question. I mean, I'll just tell you in general, I post a lot of SAT questions to my Instagram story, and all the comments that every single day, I get dozens of DMs that are like, this is so much easier than I thought. Like, this is the SAT question mark. So I don't know. I think the average sentiment, especially on some of the math questions, is that it's easier than some people expect, but in terms of math, for example, it's at the level of pre-calculus, just to give you an idea. Hello, Gohar, what are some SEO tips for a website? That is a wild question because I have a lot to say on that end, but it is so niche. I feel like that my answer to that question will not be relevant to anybody else here. So I will maybe save it off for later, or just DM me on Instagram and I'll try to send you some tips there. But yeah, love the question, but it's just not relevant to the audience here. Okay, how are we feeling about like a little game and break? Okay, so I've answered so many questions. I feel like I need to bring water to these live streams because I feel like I'm like pretty parched right now. But I can either bring out the Lego set. I'm gonna say one word, and I know that's the only word that y'all are gonna spam in the stream chat. Okay, people are down for the game. Cool, cool. What are y'all feeling? What should we do? I'm down also to potentially try Minecraft. I can open up Minecraft. I'm not sure if my laptop's gonna like explode, right? I think it can handle Minecraft, but oh, y'all are already saying the word. Okay, there we go. Yeah, everyone is spamming Kahoot. Everyone is spamming Kahoot. That is so funny. I intentionally did not say Kahoot to see if I could squeeze in some alternatives, but everyone here said Kahoot. Whatever you want. Maybe we'll do Minecraft next live stream, so I can like set up the world and we can play like a decent chunk of it. What do you say? If you read this, go, I'll stick to my schedule for the rest of my life. Samuel, you now have to stick to your schedule for the rest of your life. Oh, we got a super chat. Thank you so much. Mateo, what is the best way to network with like-minded business-inclined individuals in college? Business major. Okay, so I'll answer this question quickly. It's funny you mention this because I remember joining a bunch of like business organizations and kind of being in this space. I think whenever you're networking with people, so one thing I'll say to everyone here in terms of networking, you are all very young. And that is a serious advantage when it comes to networking because you can often cold email or cold message successful people, ask for their advice, and they would be, not all of them, but many of them would be more than happy to give you their tips, give you their notes, whatever it might be. Because they love seeing, the youth energized about entrepreneurship or about whatever field they're interested in. So that's one thing that I recommend. If you're talking to people in college that are your same age, I would say, in that case, it's very much just like meeting a friend, right? Just expressing your interest about certain fields, about certain business ideas, whatever it might be, and just having casual conversations. If you're trying to network with upperclassmen for a certain club, I think speaking to your prior experience is very important to show that you have some sort of chops when it comes to business. And then one other networking tip, just very broadly, is that you often have to provide value. So if you were talking to someone, not someone a lot older than you, but just someone in general, you can't just reach out being like, oh, I'd love to pick your brain. For a lot of people, that might seem a little bit annoying, and so you have to make sure that you kind of come in with some value that you can also give them, whether about something that you have learned, something that you have built or experienced. But it really depends on the person, because some people are like, yeah, if you're young, I'm more than happy to help, but some people, they sort of need to see value in return for giving you their time. Okay, so I'm seeing some people saying Blukit, I'm seeing Kahoot. All right, Kahoot it is. Y'all win. Okay, let's see. Let's get this going. Okay, let me open up my browser here. Okay. So, wow, this is... Bear with me for like 30 seconds as I get Kahoot up here. Let me pull up Firefox. Okay. Oh my god. I think we might... I can't believe I was like, oh, should we play Minecraft on this? Like, there's no way Minecraft would have survived. I need to buy like a much more powerful computer for these live streams. But thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. This was a really fun live stream. Hopefully y'all have been enjoying it as well. Okay, Firefox finally loaded up. Kahoot. Let's load this up. Here, let me pull it up on the screen as well. Okay, window capture. Beautiful. So we can now see Kahoot. Let's click on Discover. Museum of Science. That's our go-to. All right, and what Museum of Science ones do we have here? We've pretty much done most of these. We haven't done Why Do Dogs Pant, but I don't think that one's that interesting. Why can't we drink the ocean? We might have done this, but this one seems interesting. So let's go ahead. Wait, I'll place host live. Okay, cool. So guys, as soon as this number pops up, as soon as the pin code pops up, go ahead, head to kahoot.it, classic mode, start, and put the code into your browser or app or whatever. Okay, so 130593. All right, guys, go ahead and join the Kahoot game if you want to be a part of this. And depending on how fast people join, I'll then determine where to sort of cut it off. So we are at 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Hi, go hard, Josh in the chat. Love your videos and content. You're so helpful. Thank you. Appreciate it. Joseph, also thank you for the support. I love the competition between Mahad and I. Okay, so people are joining. We are almost at 200 members. Guys, as people are joining, I'll just remind you all, if you haven't already, I'm sure that most of you have subscribed, but turn on notifications if you want to be alerted for future live streams, and join my Discord server. Join my Discord server. The link is pinned to the stream chat, and then go to the Get Roles channel and click on Community Events. And so that way, before these live streams, I always ping the Community Events role, so that way you'll be notified whenever I'm live streaming. So we are at 237. Maybe we can cut it off at 250, or we might not touch 250 here. I think we're sort of, I think we'll touch 250. Okay, 3 more, 4 more, 3, 2, 1, and we are at 250. Beautiful. Okay, let's go ahead and begin the game. So why can't we drink the ocean? 3, 2, 1. Next. Oh, I have to mute this. Oh man, okay. Let's do this. What happens during a drought? Lots of rain washes things away, lots of snow falls, the ground shakes back and forth, or there is less fresh water. We already have nearly 50 answers. We have 20 seconds left to answer. And let me go to the stream chat. I'm guessing the stream chat is frozen by now, or going through very slowly. Yeah. Okay, so we have almost 250 answers. Nice. And by the way, guys, if you were just tuning in, you can join this Kahoot game by clicking on or heading to kahoot.it and throwing in this pin, 130593. And in number one, we have Yo with 1,000 points, debate or ban with 1,000 points. Is this a question in the form of a username? Are you asking me debate or banned? That is extremely creative. And my answer, unfortunately, is either. I mean, really, it depends on what you can become more accomplished in, like what you are more inclined to, take far. Which ocean is next to California? Arctic, Atlantic, Indian, Pacific. I hope that most of y'all get this one correct, but let's see. 10 seconds left. Again, these Kahoot games are very much just a matter of speed. So we are past 250 answers now, and the answer is the Pacific Ocean. Nearly 200 of y'all got it correct. Cool. Yo is still in the lead with 2,000 points. We have Yo and That's such like funny names. Oh, and someone went up 107 spots. I did not read their name, unfortunately. But okay, so true or false? Ocean water is too salty for humans to safely drink. What is the answer? All right, this one is, the answers are flying in for this one. Oh my God, look at that, it's insane. Okay, 250 up 243. Okay, and mostly everyone said true. Beautiful. 113 people just hit an answer streak of 3. Congrats to you if you did. And the leaderboard just shifted a lot. All right, question number 7. Which does your body need more of? Salt or water? Okay. Let's wait for the answers to come through here. All right, the answers are just flying in. We have just went from like 120 to 200 in like 2 seconds. All right, beautiful. And the answer is water, as expected. Okay, so you have a new number 2 here. Yo is still holding strong with 4,000 points. How is that even possible? Question number 8, multi-select. Okay, so, and double the points. All right, so get ready, y'all. What do the kidneys do? Choose all the correct answers. Help get rid of salt, hold the body up, make pee, sense a person's surroundings. So for this one, I would probably answer more carefully if you want those 2x points. All right, answers are coming in. All right, so after this, we have 3 questions left. So it seems like Yo might be taking the lead here. If Yo is going to be at 5,000 points after this, I will be very impressed. All right, so lots of correct answers. Lots of y'all got it correct. Oh, whoa. I almost said Yo. Yo just fell off the lead. I'm so sorry about that. Oh, man. 17 players just lost their answer streak of 3. So it seems like that was the defining question right there. Question 10. Where can we find fresh water to drink? Lakes, the ocean. Lakes or the ocean. One more question after this. I mean, if the next question is one of those multi-select double point ones again, I mean, then this game's still a toss-up. Who knows? All right, and the answer is lakes. 200 people got it correct. All right. Aradio, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, currently in number 1 with 6,500 points. And the final question, what are water treatment plants used for? Turning fresh water into salt water or turning salt water into fresh water? All right, guys, go ahead and lock in your answers here. We are past 100, past 150, we are past 200, we are past 225. Are we going to touch 250? We have 9 seconds left. 230, I don't think we're going to touch 250. 234, all right. And the answer is turning salt water into fresh water, which the majority of you got correct. And so let's look at the podium. In number 3, with 6,500 points, we have Cuba. Congratulations. In number 2, with 6,600 points, we have Tanzila. And in number 1, with over 7,500 points, we have Aradio. Congratulations on your win. That was a really fun game, guys. That was a really fun live stream as well. If y'all enjoyed this live stream, be sure to subscribe, turn on the notifications, join the Discord server if you have not already. I'll be hanging out there after this live stream just to say hi. Follow me on Instagram, handle is GoHardestGuide. Notion Devil coming out soon. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Be sure to get back to studying. This was just meant to be a study break. I don't want to make this live stream too long because then y'all are not going to get enough sleep for school tomorrow. But thank you for tuning in again. Really do appreciate it. And I will see you again next week or sooner.